to record. My name is Bugembe Andrew, and I'm going to be your host this evening. It's quite exciting that we're getting into a week where we celebrate women all over the world, and it's no coincidence that this evening we shall be having a very wonderful lady sharing with us her story, her journey with this opportunity. I do believe she should be already on the call. I'm just trying to confirm whether she's the one. She's the only Lydia I see on the call. Okay, I hope she's the one, but in case she isn't, that's also fine. I'll be able to catch up and just get to know whether it is her or not. Well, ladies and gentlemen, especially our guests who have been invited onto the call, you are extremely welcome to this call. We are going to take a very, very short time trying to explain to you an opportunity that some of us met a few years back. My name is Bugembe Andrew. Professionally, I am qualified as an electrical engineering graduate, and I'm also a lawyer by profession, on my way to becoming an advocate. A few years back, around 2005, I was invited to look at this opportunity. Incidentally, it was shared by a friend of mine whom I'd known since primary school. And I remember her telling me, come and have a look at how you can make some additional income. At that time, I didn't really have a need for additional income. However, I wanted to make some money because I'm always someone who has been trained and brought up to think of preparation, early preparation. You know, when you prepare early, you're more likely to become successful. So when she did mention to me about this opportunity, I remember I was very hesitant because I told her we engineers don't have time. We're usually very busy. I mean, extremely busy. And besides, I see you want me to buy a few things. I am still a student. I don't have money. But she did make a comment at the time that totally changed my life. She said that sometimes in life, you can be very busy, you don't have time, but you're busy becoming poor. And for me, that's what transformed me, really, because at the end of the day, we're all working towards making ends meet. I mean, there's nothing as sad as having to go through school only to end up not in position to provide for your family. So when this lady reached out and she showed me this opportunity, I took it by faith. I said, you know what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? What is it that is there that they're going to take from me, other than me taking from them whatever information they have to share? So I know if you're a guest on the call, you've been probably invited by a friend or two, and you're with us this evening. First of all, we'd like to appreciate your time. Time is money, and we don't take it for granted. You could have been somewhere watching a football match, come to think of it, but you're here with us, and we do appreciate you. And the time that you're going to spend with us, you're not going to regret. Then, secondly, what we want to share with you this evening is a business opportunity, a very unique business opportunity that people like us have done for the last coming now to 18 years. And I can guarantee you that if you do listen to us and you listen to me this evening and you give it some thought, I'm sure it will make a lot of sense because it has made sense for me. I mean, since 2005 to date, I can tell you so much has changed in my life, like I'm going to share with you shortly. But all that would not have been possible if it had not been for that opportunity. This opportunity came through an organization called Neolife. Many of you could have come across it. You may have met it in one or two ways. But Neolife has been around for the last couple of years. It's actually coming to 65 years since Neolife was created, far back in 1958. And it's in a number of countries. That's why we have a number of people on the call this evening, because this being a Zoom call, anyone can log in from anywhere. But when Neolife first came to Africa, it was first in South Africa, all the way from the US. And now we have a number of people participating in this business from places like Namibia, Mozambique, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Botswana, Lesotho, and a lot of countries in West Africa as well. Not forgetting some countries like Zambia, where we are yet to formally register. So it's an opportunity that cuts across the world. And I think for me, that was something that was very critical. We are on a mission to make the world a healthier and happier place. And indeed, that is something that truly, truly pushes me with passion, because there's no other joy in life than to be healthy. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible to be in a place where you have no good health. Our values that have kept us for the last 65 years are as follows: absolute integrity in everything we do and say. People are number one, products that work, an equal opportunity for all, and a long-range vision. These are values that Neolife has held on for the last 65 years. And that's why in 2023, on the 5th of March, we are able to have Neolife still reaching out to a number of people. What I just want to put an emphasis on, because I think it's important that you appreciate, like I've mentioned, it's a business opportunity. And you will come to appreciate that every business actually does have either product or service. And for me, that is something that I came to learn later on. I'll be pushing into that direction a little bit later after talking about the products. But it's important that you appreciate that you can never claim to do business if there's no product, there is no service. And Neolife has a set of products that it provides, which we are going to look at just shortly. But the partnership that is formed between any individual, like myself when I started in 2005, and the company, is one that is of a supportive nature. You're going to be able to get a whole lot of product supply. Of course, I've interacted with a number of colleagues, including myself, where we have had to import products in from another place, another country. And the logistics that are involved are quite hectic. But Neolife is ready to take care of all that: the logistics, the distributions, the literature sales, the sponsorships. I mean, they're ready to take care of what an ordinary business that you are running would do. All you have to do is to appreciate some of the principles I'm going to share with you and be able to have a partnership that allows you to make some money together with Neolife. So some of the products include home care products, which basically have 4 very important features. One of them is that they are versatile. So a product like Super 10 that you're seeing right there, that is basically used for cleaning, can replace about 10 products in a house, right from what you'd use in the bathroom, to the kitchen, to the sitting room, to windows, to cleaning cars, and so on and so forth. They are also very economical. The care you see there is a disinfectant, and that 1 liter of concentrate actually mixes 50 liters of ready-to-use disinfectant. And the kind of dosage that you use when you're applying is also very little. So you're able to actually save a lot of money when you use the cleaning home range of products that Neolife produces for us to be in business with them. The other very important aspect in this day and age, an aspect that is very, very health related, is the fact that the products are non-toxic. We are hearing a lot of different ailments coming up day in, day out. And one of the leading causes of disease today is actually toxins, the amount of toxins that we have within our environment. And of course, you have to think through this, right from the clothes you wear, to the bed sheets that you sleep in, to the floor, to the washing powder or washing liquid that you use to wash your plates. We have all these toxins around us that we are using, and they're interacting with our body. Are they safe? Of course not. Now, Neolife provides that kind of option where you're able to have products that are non-toxic, and also for those that are environment friends, people that love to keep the environments very clean and safe for the future generations. They are also biodegradable. A product like G1 Laundry there, that packet of 2 kilograms does about 180 washes to 200 washes actually. And you use just a scoop, 2 scoops per 5 kilos of wash, and you're able to wash 200 washes of 5 kilos worth of cloth every time you do wash. And when you get that water out, you can pour it out on your flowers and your plants will grow magnificently. Okay, we also have another product. Like I shared with you, you cannot get into business with a company that has no product. So Neolife has a product that has become popular right here in Africa and more so in East Africa. Product is called Super Grow. Its main function is to conserve water in the soil, and also it enables that there is proper usage of pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers in case you're the kind of person that uses those, because it has a sticking effect, but more importantly, it conserves water in the soil. So for the farmers, the season is on right here in Uganda. It may be the same in Kenya. Hope to be there in next weekend. But what I know is that a number of places around East Africa, perhaps between March and say May, June, we have a bit of rains here and there. So you can prepare yourself to use Super Grow. Nutrients organic range of products is the one that we use for the skins. We basically believe that what is organic is going to be able to protect you and keep you safe from getting any form of disease. Yeah, so I will definitely let you know that when you look at the things that Neolife produces, especially for your skin, there are products that are very safe and products that work. You know, you'll find products that are able to cleanse, to exfoliate, to moisturize, protect, and renew. In fact, the lady that is going to speak to us this evening is a lady that is a pure example of that, because if she tells you the number of children and grandchildren that she's got, that is what gives away her age. But other than that, you can literally feel and think that she's a much younger lady. And why? Because of what Neolife has done for her. Then the last bit, in as far as our product range is concerned, is the nutritional range of products, which are basically meant for health. The story is that between 0 and 25, you're very, very vibrant. As you grow older, you begin getting tired. As you grow older, you begin getting sick. I used to think that's the way life is, until I was re-educated. I had to relearn that, you know what, it's not supposed to be the way that when you get to 50, 55, and 60, you're supposed to have ailing backs and you're getting all these chronic diseases that we talk about, the pressures and the diabetes of this world. It's possible for you to live a longer, healthier life in the vibrant zone and spend less time in the tired and sick zone. It's possible. And when you look at the things that we need to keep healthy, we're looking at things like rest, exercise, and diet. What Neolife focuses on and has focused on for the last 65 years is the aspect of food. Why do we eat food? You know, many of us feel and believe we eat to remain alive. But when you look at the kind of food we're actually eating, you could be shocked, because you could be eating to go away, to live. Okay? But if you're going to eat to be alive, this is what we are telling you that you need to be doing. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an area that Neolife has been a leading force in for the last 65 years, like I've said. So I'm not speaking from a guessing or a try and error point of view. It's not my opinion. It is been researched that if you're doing your exercise as required, you should be then eating a lot of whole grains. Whole grains includes things like brown rice, whole wheat bread, soya, and things of that nature. We should be taking a lot more of the fruits and vegetables. We should be taking a lot more of less of the protein and less of the fats and sugars. And that is how we're supposed to be eating if we want to actually be alive, because it is what it is what in what you eat, that's what your body picks up to continue functioning. Now, if what you're eating looks something like that, which most of us have turned around, where we are eating more of the fats and sugars, refined sugar, cooking oil, refined rice and refined wheat, that's the order of the day. You will agree with me if you're on the call that today has not gone by without you having to look and taste and eat many of the things that I've just shared with you on the screen right now. And we're saying a number of diseases, those non-communicable diseases like cancer, diabetes, and pressure, many of them are on the rise because of how we have turned that round to start eating wrongly. As a matter of fact, many of us are always tired. Sunday night, you're going back tomorrow morning, and the first thing in the office you're going to do at about 11 a.m., you're going to be sleeping. Yeah, well, you could have had a long weekend, but guess what? The food you're also eating is not really helping much. And because of that, the World Health Organization has been warning us of this global health crisis that is taking place all throughout, where we are seeing more people having issues with heart problems, strokes, diabetes, cancer, and the things of that nature. So what Neolife has done is to provide a solution where we are saying that we need to be taking a lot more of the whole grains, because the whole grains help whatever you've eaten. They have nutrients that I'll call lipids and sterols, which are meant for the cell membrane, which help whatever you've eaten, whatever food you've eaten, to get into the cell, produce energy, and the waste get out. Because many of us, when you look at the challenges that we face, we have very unhealthy cells where the nutrients we have eaten don't get in, and neither do the wastes get out. So that's why they now bring in supplements, which is basically tablets that have been extracted from food that are nutritious. It is actually food. And they say, you know what, we're going to get you the lipids and sterols, and we're going to put them in these tablets so that your cells can begin to function again. Why? Because this has been removed from our rice, from our wheat. Why? Because we want our rice and the wheat to be in the market or to be on the shelf for a much longer time. But you see, it being on the shelf for a much longer time, and yet it does not have nutrition like this that we need to open up ourselves, is of no use. Because when you eat, you just eat for taste. You don't eat so that you are actually able to be helped. And when you look at the process that our food goes through, right from the farm to the market to the kitchen, a lot of nutrients are lost. When it gets to the kitchen, guess what? Instead of eating it raw, we are boiling, we are roasting. Most of us, like we did today, we are frying. And sincerely speaking, if you're doing this once in a blue moon, you will never have health issues. But if you're doing it every day, Sunday to Sunday, all you're eating is the fried, and all you're eating is that food that has actually gone through that session and process, and you're not getting the nutrients, then eventually with time, you begin getting issues. So that's why Neolife has introduced something for each and every level. For the fruits and vegetables, we have carotenoid complex, which helps to boost your immunity by about 37% in 20 days. We saw this during COVID. Everyone that took carotenoid complex during COVID, they will tell you that they did not have such an effect of COVID on them like someone who had not. Okay, I personally felt a lot safer during COVID because I was definitely supplementing with an immune booster like carotenoid complex. You will have the protein, where we are looking at a protein that has all the 22 amino acids, very essential for the children, also very essential for the grown-ups, because protein helps to rebuild your body and build and rebuild your body. Then you have the omega-3 that helps with the inflammation, basically because we are taking in too many fats and sugars, many of them that are actually dangerous to us. So omega-3 are the good fats that are essential for our health. Ladies and gentlemen, those products that you see there are what represent our core nutritional program. So if you're a guest on call, I can guarantee you that if you took those products for 3 days, it's a guarantee, money back guarantee, that you definitely feel a lot better on the third day, experiencing Pro Vitality and Neolife Share. A number of other solutions that we have got, targeted solutions like immunity, like children's programs, very fantastic testimonies. The lady that you see there lost weight in such a healthy way. Here we tell you to eat 5 times a day so that you can lose weight. And we just have to advise you on what to eat. But guess what? The person on the left, that lady's picture, is much younger than the person on the right. Isn't that amazing? Then we have Moses Nwabine there, who through taking the carotenoid and the threonine has been able to experience a whole new life, because having tested HIV positive, he had actually lost hope because his CD4 count just kept on going further down. But the moment he started supplementing with threonine and carotenoid, within the space of a month, his CD4 count had totally changed. The person who invited you will share with you more on that aspect. All right. So let's talk about business, because that's what we are here to do. This is a business presentation. We want to tell you more. How can we be able to change our financial position? Why? Because as much as there's a global health crisis, there's also a global economic crisis, where we have price increases in all categories of life. And it is such a mess. It is such a mess, because people are just holding on every other day. Today, I think it's a lot worse. I feel like it was the same situation that was there in 2005 when I started. But, you know, as you go through life, you actually realize the situation doesn't get better. You know, it only gets worse. And I've been telling people all across that the only way to improve your financial position is by increasing your income, basically. Well, you can cut down on your expenditure, but guess what? There's so little you can cut down on. What you need to do is to increase your income. So, ladies and gentlemen, Neolife gives us an opportunity to build a business of our own. I've told you, qualified as both engineer and lawyer. My options are quite clear, and many of them come as employed and self-employed. But when you're employed or self-employed, of course, like you can see, you either have a job or you own a job, but you have one thing in common. Those two people have one thing in common. They both exchange their time for money. That means if I'm not at work, I can't make money. Yeah. However, many of us strive to cross over to the business side, and we want to be business owners, because when you have a business, you then are able to create a system that works for you, that allows you to have an income. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I chose 18 years ago, because I looked at what we all go through life to get to. And I noticed a number of people, yes, do get employed, and they have a desire to be self-employed at one point in their lives. And most of them are working towards retirement, where they are able to have an income coming in that is independent of their presence. So for me, I told myself, why not start this early, so that by the time maybe approaching my 50s and 60s, it's already set, and I don't have to do a lot of panicking. So I thank God that that wisdom at the time the person was presenting was available to me. So I just want to pass it on to you that if you're looking for an additional income, the Neolife provides for you a system that you can work with, that you don't have to leave wherever you are working right now. So if you're at your workplace, you still remain at your workplace and continue to build a business, like with Neolife, for example, and you're able to have both. And at a later point in your life, at a later stage in your life, when you are actually retiring, you're able to retain the income that Neolife has to offer. So How does Neolife do that? Like I've mentioned, it is a business. We have products. I've already shared with you the products. These products are satisfying a need. They are solving a problem. Whenever you have a product and it's satisfying a need, it's solving a problem, you have a business and you can actually be able to operate. Every business starts with individual dreams. I will tell you one thing for sure. When I started in 2005, I wanted about $150. Nothing more really. That's all I wanted to earn. I was looking for an additional income of about $150, you know. Other people are probably looking to be their own bosses. They don't want to be have anybody boss them around. Other people are probably looking for more family time. That's also another area I was really looking at, because I wanted to be a present father. I wanted to be a present father, not an absent father, a present parent. Other people are looking for assets. That's another thing I was looking at as well, because we all very well know that that salary is never enough to get you the kind of assets that are going to allow you to give you income in the future. Oftentimes you either have to borrow or you have to save. And of course, if you can be able to have an additional income coming in that allows you to save more, you're able to have an asset. In fact, the lady that is going to share with us her story this evening is one lady that has really benefited from the fact that she was able to save money that was coming in through Neolife to create an asset or assets that today, at her age, she's able to live off comfortably. Some other people have to travel. Neolife gives you the opportunity to travel. It's quite exciting, and you'll hear a lot of those stories, or to just help others. So how does this work? It starts with you registering as an independent distributor. To become a distributor, you need $100, actually, about $100. And with that $100, you get a product, you get also what we call a kit. We want you to do three things. Let me call them three. I'll not complicate a lot so much for you. The first thing is that you must use the products. That's very important. For me, this was the game changer, because it is out of using the products that you're actually able to recommend them to other people, because you're recommending them from a point of experience. And when that happens, it's easier for you to now build a retail customer base. Ladies and gentlemen, every business has a customer base. I've not seen any business across the world that does not have a customer base. So when you start out in your business, one of the things we tell you to do, from the people you know in your life already, share with them your experience of how the products have helped you. I mean, for me, the laundry powder was a magical thing, because I remember when I was at the university, I used one packet for about 2.5 years. And for me, it became a lot easier for me to share it with different individuals. So it's important for you to look at that. The Pro Vitality, like I've said, use it for 3-4 days. You will have a very big difference. When you share your product experience, you're going to earn a profit. And the company will also give you a commission at the end of the month. So you earn in 2 ways. You earn a profit directly as you share products with different people, you're able to earn a profit. Then as you go on and you do this repetitively, at the end of the month, the company takes up all the volume you've done, and then it gives you a commission as well. The total comes about to $50. We have some levels we work with here, and you're looking at a level of manager per se. When you now go ahead and you share this opportunity, share your business opportunity with someone else. What does that mean? There are people who will not want to buy from you directly because they feel they can also get the products directly from the company. You can link them up to the company, Neolife, and Neolife will not punish you for linking them up to the company directly by not giving you anything. They'll give you actually a commission because you're linking people up to the company. And if these people are also interested in building the business, you begin to teach them exactly what you have done, which is to get a set of customers around you and be able to have that volume of products moving as well. I would like to insist and make a very clear statement that this business, Neolife, that it offers to us is not about bringing in people. It's about getting people to use our products. The more people you bring to use our products, the more people that begin to use that laundry powder and are using the Pro Vitality, the more the company is going to pay you. That's the principle. So I know we have had a lot of things in town all across Africa, which are really messed up. They have moved out of town in and out of town with people's money. But the reason why Neolife has been around for the last 65 years is because they insist that we are paid for getting value to people, for getting people to use our products. So the more people that use our products, the more the company will pay you as a business owner. Then, of course, the last thing is the personal development that comes with that. As you attend weekly trainings, personal mentorship that you get from this, and for me, this was very important. I usually tell people the amount of money you have on your account is equivalent to the size of your mind, which basically means if you have 50K, that's how far you can think. If you want to earn and have more than 50,000, whether it's Kenya shillings, Uganda shillings, whatever it is, then you must work on your mind. And for me, Neolife has done a very wonderful job in that area. So as you do that, as you are doing on your you're working on your personal development with the help of the people that you work with, the support team that you've got, you are going to become a director. You're looking at about $500. As you help more people become directors within your organization, then you become a world team member and you're looking at about $1,000. And then eventually you become a president's team member and you're looking at about $3,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I've built this business all the way up to a point where I am, I could say I've been able to at least earn over $1,000 every single month, $3,000 every single month. And for me, that is how the journey started. Because in my first semester, when I was still a brand new distributor, I remember my first commission was about $10, 18,000 Uganda shillings at the time. And as I kept on building it, 6 months down the road, that income increased to about $500. Then as I kept on building it, 1.5 years later, it got up to about $1,000. As in my second semester. By the time I left the university, I was actually a president's team member, earning close to about $3,000 every single month. And I've seen that income come through since 2009 when I left the university. It doesn't stop at just the income. There's the bit of travel. And I mean, we have traveled. If you love traveling, especially I know the ladies love to travel. This is Women's Week. If you love traveling, Neolife will definitely is the place for you because you will travel and travel and travel and travel and travel. Every year you have an opportunity to travel with the company to different destinations. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite our speaker at this particular moment. This is a lady I have known. She's like a mother. When I started, she was there. She has been there. She is still there. She has built such a fantastic business. A number of the people that she has in her team right now come all the way from Lydia, come all the way through from Kenya. You're welcome. All the way through from Tanzania. She has been able to build a very fantastic business in Tanzania. And Matt, we look up to her. She's very inspiring. When she drives her car, it has the number plate SAMS. I think it's SAMS 27. And she's just a fantastic lady to look up to. And it being a ladies' week, a women's week, we felt it right for her to be with us here this evening. Lydia, you're very, very welcome. Please go ahead and share with us your story. I'll just stop sharing right now so that we can get to hear your story.
Thank you, Andrew. Sorry, I had to talk while I was putting on when I had muted, but I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, ma'am.
Thank you, Andrew, for that wonderful presentation. It was a very good one. I think I've learned something from your presentation. I'm Lydia Musinguzi. I'm married to Dr. Polycarp Musinguzi. We were blessed by 5 children, with 5 children who are adults now. Between 30, God blessed us again with 5 grandchildren. So we are really blessed and we thank God. We are grateful for what He has blessed us with. I started this business actually after I had resigned from my job a few years after. When I resigned, I had a reason. When I was growing up, I had a dream that I should be rich. I never wanted to be poor because my growing up was not good. We were struggling, and I didn't want to struggle in my life. And I didn't want my children to struggle. So when I worked for 3 years in civil service, I was not seeing any headway. The money was little. I was working full time, and I had children already. So I thought that job couldn't work for me. So I resigned. But when I resigned, I didn't have much in mind what I could do. But I grew up knowing that doing business would be the best thing to do. But then I didn't have much in mind. So I started trying here and there. I first learned baking. I knew some baking. I started baking. I sold bread and cakes, but the market was not much during that time, in the 1980s. People didn't have money, so they were not even eating the bread. Then, when I failed in that, I started chicken rearing. Chicken rearing had its own challenges also. You can't rear chicken when you don't have much money to buy food for chicken. If they are laying, they will stop laying if you don't give them enough food. And again, if you don't have experience of how it goes, you can lose some of them. I bought 100 birds and I ended up with only 30, which were giving me only 1 tray of eggs. And with the family by then, I think we had 4 children. My husband was working, yes, but the money for one person wouldn't be enough for us. So we were always lacking. I continued looking around to see what I could do. I went into soft drinks, selling soft drinks wholesale. It is when I was doing that I realized I was not making any profit, because the workers actually were making more profits than I was doing. During that time, that's when I had my 5th child. When I went on maternity leave, I found almost all my capital was gone. Then I packed everything, I went back home, started looking after my 5 children. Life was a bit hard because I felt like a dependent. I felt like I was among the people who were living with us, and we had children. The house was full, but then I didn't contribute anything. I looked around, we had some women who organized themselves. Those days, things were not easy. Then when we were together with other women, that's when one of us told us there was a group of people coming from South Africa. They were going to tell us something. We waited for them, I think 2 times. They didn't come. The 3rd time they came. When they came with a box full of some tins and bottles and packets. We had no idea of what it was, and that was in 1996. They started talking about natural products, food supplements. I had never heard of such things. A little bit of knowledge because we had a friend who was telling us that our children are supposed to take some tablets or capsules, and I didn't know what all the thing was about. But then when they brought those things, it came to my mind, maybe they meant these things. Then they started talking and showing us some checks, and I had no much idea, but as soon as they talked about natural products, an idea came to me that this is the thing maybe God has brought for you to do, because immediately I fell in love with them. People who are here for the first time, you may not understand everything when they tell you, but at least you get one thing about good health. Immediately it came to my mind that when I start this thing, it might help me, because I had a condition of stomach ulcers, which had disturbed me for a long time. Actually, I had suffered from stomach ulcers since I was in secondary school, and I was really feeling very bad. So when they talked about what those products could do, then I knew that was it. Immediately they finished, I signed up. After signing up, the sponsor showed us the products, we tested. At that particular moment when they were teaching us, they couldn't give us to test, because those are the only products they had. By then, the company was not in Uganda, it was in South Africa. And they couldn't allow us to test. But later on, our sponsor brought a few products into her home. We went there, we tested the NutriShake, we tested the Rivera Plus, we tested the Rivera Gel, hand and body lotion. The products were really nice. And I said, if I have been using products I don't know, now what about these ones which they are going to teach me about, and I use the things I know. After all, they come from America, the country we respect that produces the best things. So immediately I got in love with Neolife. I started using the products. When I used the products, I thought about money again. They said I could get money from this business. And the person who was not contributing anything, who was not earning anything. And you can imagine when you are a woman, you have to ask for everything from food to clothes, from clothes to doing my hair. So I said, why not start the business? Talking to people as they had told me. I started talking to a few people, my relatives, my friends, my neighbors. Immediately, people started joining me. I did the business like there was no tomorrow. The first month, my first check was 400,000. I said, wow. And when I showed my business the check, my husband the check, he said, oh my, I can't believe until you get the second check. I worked harder. The second month, I got 600,000, and that was the beginning of my life in a new life. I believed, my husband believed, he started also talking, and while I was talking to other people, he was also talking to other people. We got one person from Tanzania who was working with the Central Bank of Tanzania. When they had gone for a conference with my husband, he talked about it because she was always miserable, she was sick, she was an unhappy person. Then when this person came to Uganda, my husband had told her, you meet my wife. I met her. When I met her, she was miserable. She didn't have much time. I had just got a kit for her. I just gave it to her. She ran to the airport, and that was it. It took us another long time before we met, but at least she was registered. When she reached Tanzania, she talked to other people, and those people were all excited. You can't imagine, they would call me. By then we were using landline. We didn't have the cell phones, but we could communicate. I started sailing on Lake Victoria, going to Mwanza, taking products, because the warehouse was not yet in Uganda. We were sort of doing magendo. So I would reach at the border after the sea, rather the Lake Victoria. Then I didn't know Swahili, but this girl had connected me to a lady in Mwanza, and I struggled a lot, but thank God the results came out. My dreams were realized. Those people became so excited. Ugandans were excited. I did that business. Within 5 months, I was a director. And that month, actually 6 months, I joined in April 1996. And in October, we were invited to go to South Africa. I had never gone to South Africa because during that time, a few countries were going to South Africa. They had opened it in 1994. So it was new for me to go to that country. And when we went, oh my, we saw a bigger picture in the business. And when we came back, I worked so hard. I became a world team member. And when you become a world team member, that's when life starts. You start traveling. I started traveling to other countries. I can't count the countries I went to. But when we went to South Africa, we went to this place called Sun City. Oh my, it's like a place got from heaven and placed on earth. And I think my husband had traveled to other countries, but he hadn't traveled to Sun City. So he was so excited. He allowed me to go out to talk to people, and the business was exciting. In 2 years, I was able to buy a plot in Kampala City. Our block is in Chibuga. We are in Central Division. I couldn't believe what God had done for me, because it was always my dream. Even before I found that business, I would go to Kampala, just walk along the streets, looking at plots, looking at houses. I really wanted to be rich, and God did it for me. When I got that plot, the first time I went to the plot, God showed me this is it. And I had the money because I had saved my money from Neolife, and I had bought my own car from the business. So nothing could stop me. I was using the products. I was strong. And I joined the business when I was only 36 years old. And during that time, people didn't know exactly what it was, but we told them slowly by slowly. Now, I feel as young as I started Neolife. I'm now on my 6th floor, and I feel great. I feel excited. I feel energetic. And Andrew talked about using Neolife nutrients. I use it and I feel good, and I know I have, God has promised to let me live for 120 years. And I know, I believe I will reach there, because He has given me these great products, and He has given me this great opportunity where I can earn money, and I drive the car I want. I live in a house I want. And this plot, we built there a hostel. Hostel, 6 floors now. We are putting another second building, which is on 4th floor, and I feel good. We get money every month, and we thank God for it. We don't take it for granted, because it is God who gives wisdom. On this call, there are some people who might be doubting. Please don't be a doubting Thomas. You will miss, you will lose, because if it wasn't for Neolife, I don't know where you would be. And this business has allowed me to help other people. In this world, God wants us to work with other people and help other people. I have workers, and these workers, some of them are not able to take their children to school, so at least I can pay for them. Some are at university, some are in secondary school, some are in primary school, so I'm able to help all these people. And I thank God, the team he gave me from Tanzania, oh my, the ladies are so excited. They are very excited. They have bought their own cars. They have built their own houses. Their husbands are happy. They travel every year. And when they are doing the business, they talk about the person who introduced it to Tanzania. I thank Grace so much. I treasure her because she's a treasure. If I hadn't got her, where would those ladies be? Please, when you join this business, be talkative, talk to people, use the products, because we have 3 daily success habits. That is using products, sharing products, sharing the opportunity. You get personal development, and you do whatever you want. Nobody can limit you except yourself. So I thank God for this opportunity, and I wish everyone could know what is in it. Please come join us. We shall help you, and we can do this business together, and you realize all your dreams. Thank you, Andrew, for inviting me on this call, and I wish everybody good life. Thank you. God bless you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. It's such an amazing story. We appreciate you, and we appreciate God that has allowed us to see you build your business all the way up to the 6th floor. Eh? We look forward.
Yes, actually, I didn't tell you. It's not only the only investment. We have invested a lot, but that is our main investment because it gives us money every month, every day, every week. So we thank God for it. But we have done a lot, bought land, built other houses, built our dream home where we live now. So everything is good. We thank God for that.
Wow. And if you started doing this business at 36, and this is how you look 27 years down the road, I know it is going to be for
actually, it will be 27 years in April.
27 years
this April.
Wow, that is good.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And we've been married for 40 years. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Madam Lydia. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call it a day for today. Please talk to the person who invited you. And this is what you need to basically do. Let's quickly wrap up with that. There are just 4 things you need to look at. Number 1, you need to just have a reason. Straight up and very straightforward. Have a reason. My reason was 500,000. You've had Madam Musinguzi, her reason was she wanted that additional income. Then believe that the opportunity we are showing you this evening is going to get you there. We have a 65-year track record, ladies and gentlemen. There is no other opportunity of this nature that gives you that kind of experience. All the things we have gone through up to this point, 65 years running back, this is all at your disposal for you to start with. Then, of course, you need to decide. If she hadn't decided, if I hadn't decided, we would not have a story to tell. And we cannot decide for you. You have to take up the opportunity and decide. Okay? Then finally, you need to take action and register. Register today. To register is like about $100. In Uganda here, you're looking at about 273,000 Uganda shillings. I think in Kenya, it's about 10,000. And in Kenya shillings, in Tanzania, it's about 160,000 shillings, I think. I hope so. The people who invited you that on the call will give you all the details. Please talk to the person who invited you onto the call and ask them all the questions. Thank you so much, Madam Lydia Musinguzi. We appreciate you. God bless you. And have a great week, everybody. To all the ladies on the call, happy week.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.